Okay, if you're still single and you're not finding any luck on Tinder or Bumble, this is the episode for you. Hey everyone, this is Rick, and welcome back to the Seed the Startup Journey, the entrepreneurship podcast sharing the origin stories of amazing founders and their companies in under 20 minutes. Today, I'll be chatting with Vidya Madhavan, a Stanford student that's building Schmooze, a new dating app that allows you to find your next match, not through looks or copy and pasted pickup lines, but by swiping memes. They have their own humor-based matching algorithm and have now created over 100,000 matches on Schmooze. Hey Vidya, thank you so much for coming onto our podcast today. You're building a dating app, but it's not just any dating app, it's dating based on memes, which I find to be a super cool idea. So can you start us off by talking a little bit about yourself as well as your company Schmooze?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I'm right now a student at Stanford, doing my business school second year, and I've been working on a bunch of products over the last couple of years. So Schmooze, the dating app, happens to be my fifth product, and interestingly, the one that's been taking off a lot. So I'll go into details of how we came about with Schmooze and all of that in some time. But the point really was, wait, why are we connecting the world based on how people look? We can have so much more fun if people connected based on humor. So that's the concept of Schmooze, and the currency of humor today is a meme, and that's the idea of Schmooze. Swipe on memes, not people, and find a date to laugh.
That's awesome. And I actually wanted to try out the app, but unfortunately, because I'm in Taiwan right now, and I think I needed to sign up with a US phone number. But could you tell us a little bit about how it works? Do users create their own memes and then swipe based on that? Or, how does it work?
Yeah. So right now, Schmooze, we at Schmooze upload all the memes. We have meme officers who upload memes every day. I think that's the best job in the world. So there was this guy who applied for, my role, job posting for a meme officer. He wrote an 800-word essay about his relationship with memes, why he really loves memes, why he wants this job and all of that. So he says, this is all I do every day. And wait, you're going to pay me for it? So I so want this job. So yeah, we have meme officers who upload memes, and the rationale is kind of threefold. The first is we don't want users to do any work. We want this to be as simple as you're done with all your work for the day, you come back, sit, relax, and at that point what you're doing usually is you're reading memes, right? And we just want people to have fun, read memes. There is a match, let's say there is a super awesome match for you, Rick. And then we just create it and say hey Rick, meet Vidya. And, Vidya meet Rick. If both of us feel that, okay, now I've seen this person, I want to really talk to him or her, you're going to schmooze, otherwise you snooze. And then there's a chat created.
Got it. And how much are you paying your meme officer?
I'll tell you, they make what they would make in any regular job at this point. So one of our meme officers is actually a high school student.
Wow.
So it's very funny. This guy, just to get salary from us, went and created a bank account. Otherwise, he didn't even have a bank account to get the money into.
Wow. Yeah, if you're ever still hiring, I'm sure if you drop a link, I'm sure a lot of my audience would be interested. Yeah. So what planted, the seed for Schmooze? Because, it's kind of a novel idea for me. How did you come up with it?
So the story is, I actually sent a cold email to someone asking about college admissions in the US. This person and we were kind of having fun the way we wrote those emails, and we ended up exchanging about 200 emails over the next couple of days. These 200 emails primarily contained jokes and memes. Fast forward to now, I married the recipient of this cold email, and this is actually my story. So coming here to Stanford, every time people ask so how did you meet your husband? I've kind of ended up repeating the story hundreds of times to people. And that's when, my husband and I got chatting when we used to come back from, let's say, any party or meeting a bunch of people that, so basically we connected because of our shared sense of humor. And it's interesting that everyone finds it to be a very different thing. What we liked about each other was our shared taste of humor. And both of us were like about 8,000 miles away from each other, 12-hour time zone difference. And I think we kind of did pretty well to be in a long distance relationship. For us, humor has really held us through, even if we have an argument these days, right? So it's like, oh, we are fighting about something, and then one of us just cracks a joke and the other is like, okay, fine, whatever. So I just realized that humor has been a very, very integral part of our lives. And we were surprised that it has not been a very integral part of other people's lives in terms of choosing the people that they want to be with. So that's when we said, like, wait, everyone likes a good sense of humor, but it's funny that people don't make their life choices that way. And so let's connect people based on humor. And again, I can't iterate enough that the currency of humor today is a meme. So that's how we came up with the concept of meme-based dating.
So is your husband working on the Schmooze team right now as well?
No. He is not. So like at least one of us has to put food on the table. So,
So I guess because besides you and your husband, I know you guys right now on Schmooze have over 100,000 matches. Are there any other stories of, people either starting to date each other or maybe even getting married?
So there are definitely stories of people who have started dating each other. Even yesterday, so someone deleted Schmooze, and we asked for like reason for deletion, and this person was like, I really like the app. I deleted it because I actually found my girlfriend on the app. So I reached out to this person and I was like, hey, this is Vidya, founder of Schmooze. Do you want to chat? And we would love to send you over some stuff. So he was so happy. Since then, he's followed me on Twitter, on LinkedIn. He was like, I really, really love the app and I've been recommending Schmooze to everyone.
Yeah, that's amazing. So this seems like, a really fun company to build, but because it's also somewhat, unconventional, have you had any unexpected challenges or maybe failures along the way of building Schmooze?
Oh, yeah. I think the company is unexpected in many ways. Like, people talk about remote work. As I said, I've been building products now for the last 2 years. And along the way, it has always been remote. I've been in US and my engineering team has been in India. So already a 12-hour time zone difference. So when I have my brain fresh at, let's say, 8 a.m. in the morning, it's already like people in India are, starting to be like, okay, we have 4 hours more to go, and then we just shut off our laptops kind of a thing. And that's obviously a challenge because we always started off being remote, even in pre-COVID times. It did come up with its own share of difficulties. For me, it was largely about building it during school, which was definitely challenging. Like, if you typically look at how B schools are about a lot of partying and meeting new people and networking with them. So I kind of had to give up on a ton of that. Like, I can probably count the number of parties I went to on one hand, like not even two, right? That's been one, but then largely the thing was maintaining a remote team, and we are going to scale a remote team, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I feel like the parties could be a good way of getting people to potentially try out your product.
Oh yes, so the parties that I'm counting on my one hand are the parties I went to for that.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. So was it also difficult to, convince investors to jump on board? Because I imagine maybe you go in and pitch your idea and then suddenly you're talking about memes. Like, do people get it?
This is a very interesting question, Rick. So let me answer this question in, two phases. So first, was it easy for me to explain what this meme thing is all about to investors? No. It was not, because fundamentally, on an average, investors are kind of older. Many of them called it like Mimi, Momo, like what is this thing about? And then, on many of my Zoom calls, I would be like, okay, 1 second, let me just screen share and show you, right? So I would Google search live Game of Thrones memes or popular memes, Suez Canal memes. So that's when I'm showing them like, this is what a meme is. So if you're starting from there, explaining to an investor what a meme is, yes, it was hard convincing a few of them. Some of the things that worked pretty well for me was asking investors to really go back and talk to their kids and have them try out Schmooze, because they are the real users. And even our existing investors, like apart from our first angel who was like, I will invest in whatever you build, what really worked for me was people really asking their kids, and their kids being like, oh my god, meme based dating, this is cool. In fact, I remember one of my calls with my angel, it was no longer a call for me to convince her. It became a call for her sons to convince her that, Mom, you should so invest in this company. Mm-hmm. So that's the route that I took. Like, hey, yes, is it challenging? Yes. Is there a market? Oh, well, yes. There are so many people who love it. So why don't we take the route of using these people who love the product, who love the company, and who want to see this grow, to actually convince the investors who are actually their parents to say that this is a product which is here to stay.
Yeah, I think that's a super smart approach. So what advice do you have for someone like me who's, still a student like you, but I'm also interested in launching, my own thing in the future?
Oh yeah, I think I would just say, like, get started. There is never a better time to be on the journey of entrepreneurship than that point. My first company was when I was in during my undergrad days. Every time you start on this journey of building things, you learn new things, you discover new things. Obviously, the idea is to not repeat mistakes from the past, but then you will be surprised by how many new things you keep discovering about yourself, about company building in general. Because I feel entrepreneurship is, kind of very glorified on one side. Like, it sounds very glamorous, but it is not. Like, yes, it might be glamorous. Like, we got covered on TechCrunch last week and it felt pretty good. But then the point is, while the world sees how, oh my God, you're getting featured here, people are talking about you, you know how hard it is to build companies. And it is about being at it and, banging your head against the problem again and again and again. And it requires like tons of internal motivation. And what I learned from my first company is there is no better time to start than the time you feel, let me try this out. So just go ahead and do it. A couple of years back, I was reading a bunch of books about, journeys of tons of entrepreneurs, Steve Jobs, Evan Spiegel, and a bunch of others, and their startup journeys. So one thing that became very amply clear is, Snapchat is obviously Evan Spiegel's first company, or Apple could be Steve Jobs' first company. But these are the things that we see on the outside. What we don't see is each of them has tried something else in the past, which they may or may not call as their first company. But if it had succeeded, that would have been their first company, So like Steve Jobs had dabbled with electrical circuits, or Evan Spiegel, when he was at Stanford, tried doing something else. And they were all like tinkering around with a bunch of things. And for me, when I got started a couple of years back, the point was, let's just get started, because this might not be the company that is going to, become a unicorn. But you have to get started today so that becomes my equivalent of the electronic circuit stuff that Steve Jobs tried and learned from and moved to the next one.
Yeah, no, definitely. I prepared a quick game, as I mentioned. Basically, I'll show you some memes, and then you can either swipe left if you want to snooze, I believe. Swipe right if you want to schmooze. All right, this is the first one. Schmooze or snooze?
Snooze, because I'm no longer there, but I like the meme.
Yeah.
Schmooze. Okay, this is also Schmooze.
This?
Ooh, this is Schmooze.
Yeah.
A thrilling saga. Interesting. This is a snooze for me. Okay, Schmooze. Ooh, this is Schmooze. if you're doing calls between US and India, then this is happening for you many times. The only thing you explore is this is Schmooze.
So this is the very last question I have for you, which is, what would you say is the best advice you've ever received?
Like, failure gives up if you fail to give up.
It's kind of like a tongue twister as well, but yeah, I liked it.
Yes, it is a tongue twister. It's not an advice that I received, but it's definitely an advice that I want to give going forward, because that's definitely helped me a lot. And I think if someone is an aspiring entrepreneur, then there are going to be like tons of ups and downs, and like I think success comes to you when you're standing so close to the finish line that you don't know and you don't give up.
Yeah, I love that. Awesome. So that's it for today's interview. Thank you so much for coming on again, Vidya. And yeah, I wish you and Schmooze the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. My favorite part is hearing the origin story of Schmooze, especially how Vidya is now married to the person that she was exchanging memes with. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite part is. And before you go, if you like our weekly episodes summarized in 1-minute startup droplets delivered to your inbox, make sure to head over to our website and subscribe. I'll put the link in the description below. That's it for today's episode. Make sure you like this video and subscribe, and let's grow our seed of innovation and creativity together. I'll see you next time.